The Direct Support Fund is a small grant program for grassroots groups within the Appalachian and Ohio River Valley who are working to organize around environmental justice issues in their community. And in particular, we are focused on small grassroots groups with budgets less than $100,000, and we really prioritize folks who are working in environmental justice communities or those communities that have been historically underserved. These are communities that have faced decades, if not centuries, of extraction, largely at the hands of fossil fuel industries. So the intent of the Direct Support Fund is to get resources into their hands because they are some of the most important change makers in our region.
I'm Jill Hunkler, and I'm the founder and executive director of Ohio Valley Allies. We're a grassroots group in the Ohio River Valley, and we were mainly focused on the concerns and threats presenting themselves due to fracking and fracking waste facilities and petrochemical build-out. Community members, grassroots movements in general need support in every way. And we were fortunate enough to find that in the Direct Support Fund. I can say, hey, we found the site, we need to do this testing, we need to have it paid for, boom. You know, we can have the money within a month. And that's just, I know from other experience, that's not always the case. Hope anyone seeing this will not be intimidated at all because they make the process so easy and, support you every step along the way. So.
Heartwood is people helping people protect the places they love. We are a network of grassroots organizations, of the big nonprofit groups, individual activists all throughout what we call the Heartwood region, which is the eastern half of the United States, more or less. Our annual event is called the Heartwood Forest Council. It is a council. It's a time when these organizations come together. We share strategies, we share skills, we share ideas. Big party, like say it's 3 or 4 days, however you count, 3 nights and then a half day. So, and it costs $8,000, $10,000, $12,000. So the Direct Support Fund, you cover at least half, and sometimes a little more. So it goes a long way, and these events would not happen without it.
We want to help people with their campaigns and also with their organizational development. So in some cases, we've been able to support groups and provide them the resources they need and the support they need to then eventually become their own established nonprofit organizations, 501c3s, with growing membership bases that can accept larger foundation grants.
Protect AT is a grassroots nonprofit organization, and we work to educate and empower local residents to push back against oil and gas development. We have a great staff of 8 full-time people right now. We're gonna hire a 9th on. It started in 2014. There was a well pad that was proposed less than a half a mile from our home. We knew that we were going to have a local hearing coming up and wanted to get people involved. In order to gather the people, we had to get funding because we didn't have any money to go organizing in our community and didn't know how. So we filed our first Direct Support Fund application. Direct Support Fund funded mailers. We had yard signs that we got. So it started with me actually running behind the bus up the hill, passing flyers to parents. We had our first hearing and we got a bunch of people there. And the local government decided that they were going to stop the application for now. After 10 years, that site's not built.
Our group aims to collectively reduce our carbon footprint in a neighborhood setting. So that's why we're the Climate Action Neighborhood. So within our neighborhood here, households that are part of our group try to do things that just help improve the environment. We had no funds to start with. We didn't have a big plan on how we were going to get funds, but knew pretty quickly that we would need funds to do just about anything. So at the beginning, that was not even something we were thinking about until someone said, there's this organization that would give grants for this kind of work. The idea was to do this 6-week class on plastic, so we put together a program of our own. That money enabled us to run the 6-week project that we wanted to do for the plastic awareness, but then it also allowed us to get ourselves kind of amped up in that first year. We decided that we wanted to try to enact a single-use plastic bag ban in the city of Lancaster. So there's a huge education piece that we are still planning on doing with businesses in the community. If we were still trying to nickel and dime our way through events, it would have been a much harder slog.
We approve and accept applications on a monthly basis. So anytime something comes up, we can get money out the door pretty quickly. We try to make the application as simple as possible. What is your description? What are you working towards? How can this money make a difference to you? And it makes it much more accessible for groups to apply. All of the information about the Direct Support Fund, who can apply and how to apply is on Mountain Watershed Association's website. You can also reach out to us directly and we're happy to answer questions as they come up and support people through the application process.